Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the Overflow. Sorry about the long break. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as the Hatman.
And I am drinking dinner again. And of course, as we promised, an extra long Overflow for you guys. 2 weeks worth of questions. And one question, oddly enough, that we did not get to because of internet issues I was having during the game night stream, rather. Couldn't get my words together there. So, the smoothie. People want to know how I make this thing. Well, get your pens and papers ready, because here's another keto recipe for you. So for my smoothies, what I do is I take one of 3 different fruits. Blueberries. Well, you can use blackberries as well. Strawberries. And you can use raspberries as well. And cherries. All of those berries are very low in carbohydrates. You take a cup of that fruit, toss it in your blender. Then you're going to take 3/4 cups of whole milk, because it's got the most fat content, or almond milk if you want to try that. A tablespoon of coconut oil, and 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And then you then throw a couple ice cubes in there and blend it on high for a couple of minutes. You got yourself a meal. It's loaded with healthy fats, with vitamin C, if you're using cherries or strawberries, specifically strawberries. So I would recommend the strawberry one in the mornings, and if you're not feeling that great. And of course, you get plenty of calcium as well. So it's a great little dietary drink that I have whenever I'm basically having some sugar cravings. Oh, and God, does it taste good. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hatman, as always, you get to choose politics or entertainment.
Ooh, let's get politics out of the way first.
All right, let's do it. So the first question that we have is from Joaquin Inman. What is the best way to try to win a political debate amongst friends and rivals, or at least come to a mutual understanding? So, this is interesting, very, very well timed considering what's happened today.
Yeah, really.
For those who don't know the context, I tried to call John De La Rose out on many of the lies he's been saying lately, and he blocked me, and then started tweeting at me from behind a block wall. After I had spent a lot of time basically asking him, please address these claims you're making and prove them. And that's usually my step one, is to address the claim that the other side makes and ask for some sort of backing evidence. Because if they can't get past that, then you're really more or less in for a narrative talk. And narrative talks really are oftentimes hyperbolic. And if you can shut down the hyperbole, then you find yourself in a good position to start changing minds. Because you have to keep in mind, debates aren't about you and the guy across from you necessarily. It's about everybody else who's watching. And if you play too much for optics, people will notice. Now, Hatman, I know you have a different method than I do, so go ahead and educate folks.
I really don't. I just don't get involved. It's not so much a different method as it is just total disengagement. If I get involved in any sort of drama whatsoever,
Not drama, just debating people.
Oh, debating?
Yeah, that's what they're asking about.
Oh, no. Not to say. No, I don't really have that different of an approach. Like, I just don't want it to devolve into mindless, pointless drama, because at that point, nobody's debating. You're just yelling at each other, and everybody thinks that you both look like idiots, or whoever's involved looks like an idiot. Right,
which is why I've basically said my final piece on John. You know, I know that he wouldn't want to have a debate. He's not looking for discussion. So, he can tweet behind a block all he wants. It doesn't make him look good. But when it comes to an actual debate, like the question asked, what is your method to try to get people to a mutual understanding? Because you are much more long form than I am. I'm much more to the point.
I mean, for me, I just go for the truth. Like, if for me personally, at least, like I'm really weird about making sure that people understand what I'm trying to say. So if I can get a baseline, okay, you understand what I'm saying. I'm explaining this to you in a way that you can comprehend. Let's move on from here. Like, it's very, very basic, but at the same time, like, I'm more truth-based, fact-based with it. Like, I will engage with any kind of evidence to support my position, or like I'll even bring up, okay, so other people have said this is why they're wrong. I don't know if that's the different method like you were asking about.
Well, I was talking about you don't quip as much as I do.
No, I don't. Well, no, I don't. I'm not in it for a quip. I'm in it to make the truth known.
Well, so am I. The difference or what I like to do, I'm big on pointing out absurdities in people's positions. Because I feel like if you point out an absurdity and you word it properly, one of two things will happen. Either A, they'll give up and they'll walk away from the debate, and whoever's watching is gonna see that and they'll take notice of it. Or B, they'll notice the absurdity and they'll think about it. Because one thing to keep in mind is that I talk to customers for a living about insurance. And oftentimes that is one of the most successful things that I have whenever they try to argue with me on whether or not I'm going to pay a bill or certain rates for repair shops and things like that. If they say, why won't you use my repair shop? And I say, all right, so if you're charging your lawn guy $10 a month or $10 a mow, and then suddenly somebody else says he's going to pay the bill for you and he charges you $30, would you in the other guy's position pay the bill? Of course not. And they see that absurdity and they're like, all right, now I can kind of understand where you're coming from. Or they ask you, well, why won't you put brand new parts in my 2006 Hyundai whatever? Because it's a 2006 car. That's why. Like, it's not new. Why would I put new parts in it? The absurdity is something that sticks out to you if you phrase it properly. You ever see those moments where people say, now that I've said that out loud, that sounds really dumb. I'm dragging them into that moment every time I do it. It's like if you sit here and you say that such and such person has been censored by someone else, and I go, who has and when? And then when I point out what I think that person's talking about, and I'm referencing John here, and I drag the absurdity out, well, it's rather obvious why he ignored me for so long, is because it's absurd what he's saying. But other people picked up on it, and they went, okay, wait, yeah, what he's saying is a little crazy. That's the point. I don't really see debates as, or at least on the social media space or even on the internet, as one-on-one. It's not like that at all. It's a performance for the crowd. Same reason that I don't see debates between political figures as something, as this one-on-one battle of ideas. It's for the crowd. Or at least when there's an election. The CNN debates are a little different. Which is kind of why I liked those. I liked the debates between Bernie and Ted Cruz a lot more than Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Because those were battles of ideas. So, in fact, I think that you and I both would probably recommend watching those debates for people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ted Cruz is a master at debate. Masterful guy at it.
He's a master of deconstructing the argument.
Yeah.
He's very, very good at it.
A lot of people didn't really realize how smart he was until those debates. At least I don't think.
Yeah, he can certainly hold his own.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Anarcana wants to know, will Trump continue to go hard on North Korea for playing with rockets, or will he ignore it for the sake of preserving the initial win? Hatman, I want to hear your thoughts on this first.
I have no idea. My gut tells me that he'll want to preserve the win, but at the same time, I think like it'd be more like back channeling that would go in hard against the North Koreans. Even so, like I don't really have a concrete opinion on it. I mean, it really is kind of like wishy-washy of me, and I wish there was any other way for me to say it, but I don't know, because you keep hearing the stories about how they're ramping up their nuclear facilities and stuff, and oh my God, what's the U.S. doing? And it's like, well, it doesn't look like they're doing really anything, but I have no idea what's going on there.
I will say that the possibility of the latter frightens me.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was the case, I would consider not voting for him when the next election comes around. I like the fact that he comes across and seems to be very tough on foreign policy. But if he can't maintain that, then why is he even there? I just won't vote at the top of the ticket. Pull a Ben Shapiro.
Hmm.
So, because you can't sit there and promise me all this stuff, and if you just try to do what you can to preserve the win. You have the first win, and then you go for the second win, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. You can't just be rest on your laurels. I don't like politicians who do that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a job to do. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chris Jones wants to know thoughts on the protests in France. We talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Since then, we got more confirmation. It's not Antifa protesting. Antifa was actually attacking them, the yellow vests.
Yeah, which is kind of odd.
Well, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. They get branded as fascists, so the stupid morons go out there and attack them. Not really realizing that they're a bunch of communists defending the proletariat.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Antifa are a bunch of morons LARPing as revolutionaries.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I think that so many governments are, taking their sweet-ass time and never declaring them a terrorist organization, is because they're fucking stupid. That's just my theory, anyway. I could be wrong on that, so...
Yeah, I have no idea what in the hell is going on there.
I'm just hoping that the French people realize that the answer was, and always will be liberty.
Yeah.
That I think is something I think we can both echo on. That one.
But seriously though, stop with the whole threats of deposing Macron. The last time we had a French Revolution, you got Napoleon.
Yep.
Do you really want Napoleon?
Exactly. I fear for the French people because of their bad decision making.
Yes, historically, they are very, very bad at it. Between Napoleon and capitulating to the Nazis.
I was about to say the Maginot Line.
Mm-hmm.
The Maginot Line has gone down in history as one of the worst strategic choices in military history.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans literally just conquered Belgium and went around it. What the fuck? Really? Oh my god. Anyway, let's move on. Hardboiled Entertainment says, is it significant that Trump appointed Bush Sr. as AG just after Bush's Sr.'s funeral? Coincidence or just a move to honor 41?
Coincidence. I would say.
Yeah, because you have to keep in mind that he also hired George W. Bush's old United Nations ambassador as well, to help him out. So it's just, some of these guys have been in government for ages. They're super experienced. They're very conservative. Trump knows that if he surrounds himself with those kinds of people, that it'll satisfy his base and build that sort of a strong push that it seems like he's gearing up his branch to do in the next 2 years. By the way, that's from Hardboiled Entertainment, and that was actually the point I just made is one that actually Hardboiled Entertainment made before I did. I'll give him credit for that one. So, all right. Crystal Wing 2147 says, if Trump builds the wall, what's to stop the next leftist president from destroying it? Well, if there's a law made for it to be there, you can't just not do it. You can't just destroy the damn thing. I don't know of many, like, they would have to pass a law that opens the border, which I don't think they would get enough support to do. So that's basically it. Is that it's not an executive branch thing. That's why Trump made the promise, because his branch would end up doing the building, but the funding, the purse, the money comes from Congress. If he can't get it, then there's no wall anyway. Like Hatman and I have said, like, I don't think the wall's construction is going to start until after 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a feeling...
Patriot bricks, though.
Patriot exactly. Bricks. Let's make that shit trend, guys. After every podcast in Overflow, tweet people about Patriot bricks. Tweet Charlie Kirk about it. Tweet Ben Shapiro. Tweet whoever you can think of. Patriot bricks. We should honestly crowdfund the fucking wall. I think people would get behind it.
I'm down.
All right. Foxhell asks, thoughts on Macron's effective self-exile from France? I don't know too much about this one. Hatman, what do you got?
I have no idea about this at all either.
I had heard that he was out of the country, and he hasn't come back.
It
reminds me of that once.
Probably because he fears the guillotine.
Probably. But it just reminds me of the opening, or certain parts of the movie Predator 2, where the people are going, "Where's the mayor? He's in Cabo!" Or something. Cabo San Lucas, what the fuck? It's that sort of thing. But that's what you get from elected officials a lot of times. It's like, when the shit goes down, they don't want to be anywhere near it. So, it just shows you the quality of their character. And this is one that's been asked, I think, two weeks on both weeks, because I'm pulling from the most recent week on this one. Thoughts on Sargon getting his Patreon axed, but that was asked on the podcast as well. And just to sum it up real quick, we're obviously against it. We don't think that Sargon deserved that. I think that him. I don't think what he did was in good taste. But I think that him getting banned from Patreon because of it, and it wasn't content that was on Patreon or patron-funded, is a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this, because Patreon released a statement today about why they banned Sargon. And they cited specifically that infamous video where, you're acting like a bunch of white N-words. And... It's funny because in that he's chastising the alt-right, but for some reason it's still considered alt-right language. Anyway, they specifically said that, and they said, well, since he is patron funded, we have to look at the material that he posts outside of Patreon.
Yeah, which
to me says, like, if you are a content creator on Patreon, you are representing Patreon 24/7 wherever you go.
Yeah,
and you need to watch yourself. It's one of those, like,
it's
those
very
contracts.
Strict.
Yeah, it's like those contracts that employers will make you sign. It goes further than just a simple non-disparagement clause. It's like, you will not say anything unscrupulous on social media at all, or we have the right to terminate you. I mean, Patreon could have invoked the, we can terminate any account for any reason or none at all at any time, and that would have flown better than this.
Yeah. Say, for me, I read through it and I'm like, Now, Hatman and I are preparing for some changes to what we're doing in the next year, and some new stuff that's going to be coming. I think people are going to be very excited for. But I'm just of the opinion that, if you're a social media person after this, or if you have an internet presence, you're going to have to reconsider being on Patreon. I know that Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris have already left, and are looking at other things, or just doing direct donations, which we already do. So what I am thinking of doing is adding a subscribed star account if there's enough of a demand. If we get at least 10 or 15 comments in this saying I would not, the part of the reason that I'm not a patron is because it's Patreon, I would consider doing subscribe star as an alternative for people who would rather do that. So But anyway, point being is that it does act like, yeah, they do treat you like they're your employer now, which is kind of scary when you think about it. So, you know, Hatman and I don't think we have to worry because we're always on good behavior, but like the sort of stuff that, yeah, the sort of stuff that Sargon said there, you and I wouldn't be caught dead saying. So,
yeah,
I think that I've only uttered the N-word twice on the internet, and it was both as serving as an example of what someone else had said or would say.
Yeah.
And even then, I sort of regret doing it because I kind of felt that it was a little bit much. So that's just me. Everybody's different. All right. Other stuff from the week prior. Koopa's Revenge Home says, should Trump go 2 for 2 with the Jerusalem thing and acknowledge Reza Pahlavi as the rightful ruler of Persia?
Who?
Yeah, Koopa's Revenge, we'll have to come back to that one because we'd have to do some reading on it. I don't even know anything about it. Aldous Whisperer asks, thoughts on the potential tax on violent video games? Well, that would break the First Amendment.
What, California's trying to do that again?
Wouldn't surprise me. But, yeah,
God.
like, no, that's not going to go anywhere. That would immediately... Brown versus the EMA would get originally cited almost immediately. And it would get struck down by the courts. Probably in Texas.
Yep.
Who the fuck you think you are trying to take away our violent video games, sir? We will fuck you up. Because we're Texas. I love Texas. Texas is awesome. If you've never been, go. It's awesome. I love Texas.
Yeah, I have to go to Texas.
If like I said, my day job, if they asked me to move to Texas, I would go tomorrow. I love Texas. Texas was so awesome. And I was in Houston. I was in the blue area, and it was still pretty awesome. So, Tom the Fish wants to know, do you think the right is memeing Red Cortez into a possible president? I don't know about that, but I do think sometimes we give her a little bit too much attention.
Yeah, we are, but she's sort of come out as like another one of those, you know,
face
young
of the party
rock star politicians.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Honestly, it feels more like a Cinderella story that's gone on too far. Like, yeah, she was God, what, she like worked in a restaurant or something?
Bartender.
Bartender, okay, well, almost there. Bartender got into the primaries, won, and then won the election because she had a D next to her name.
Yeah.
And everybody's losing their shit because, oh my God, she's very openly a democratic socialist and blah, blah. Okay, there's really not a lot special about her. It's, like I said, a Cinderella story that's gone on too long.
Yeah, because the instant she opens her mouth, it's hilarious. But to be fair to my fellow conservatives, part of the reason as to why they are doing this is because it seems like the Democrats are promoting her as the next face of the party. She has been fucking everywhere before she was even officially elected. NPR, CNN, you know, MSNBC. Obviously, the Young Turks highlighted her a lot because she was a Young Turks candidate. She was the only one of the Justice Democrats that ever made a dent. So, yeah. That's why. But do we give her too much attention? Yeah, I'm ready to give her less attention, that's for sure. Not unless she does something truly heinous. Which she's done stupid things, but I don't think heinous things.
No, nothing heinous yet. Like I've said before, you know, I got to give her credit because she does actually practice what she preaches. Like, she's like one of 3 or 4 representatives that's paying her interns like $15 an hour.
Yeah.
So I can't like falter so much on being a hypocrite.
Yeah, she's an idealist to her core.
But I can falter for having shit ideas.
Yeah. And she asks, you know, why not socialism in America? Well, Miss Ocasio-Cortez, it's very simple. We like to walk our dogs, not eat them. All right, hardboiled entertainment. That one was a pretty good one.
all peasants are equal under socialism.
Help, help, I'm being repressed. Oh, God. All right. Hardball Entertainment says, I say Newt Gingrich for chief of staff now that John Kelly has cleaned house and served his purpose. No. I don't mind Newt, but nah.
No.
I think Newt's kind of done.
No, just no.
Is it bad? No. I keep looking at my tattoo and being like, that's fucking awesome. Anyway, sorry. Just look at this fucking thing. Look at it.
I can't. You're too far away.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Oddly enough, still no pain. Like, just like a mild, like, itching sensation because it's starting to scab, which it's going to do after the first, like, few days. And I've had it for almost a week now. And they say it's like, it scabs and it peels for, like, a few days, and then it heals over, and then it looks awesome. So...
I can't get over the fact that you actually put Deus Vult on there.
Oh yeah, I always planned on it. Ever since originally the banner was going to be God Wills It. But I'm like, why not just put it in Latin and do Deus Vult? It's my slogan anyway. So
the madman actually did it.
Yeah. And now, but what's funny is, like, people have been asking me, it's like, so what's the next one? And I'm like, I've got all this empty space on my arms, and I've got other ones planned. I plan on getting another one that I can't remember the Latin translation for it, but it's to basically mirror God Wills It. It's going to say God loves you. And it's a different styled cross. It's more or less an ichthus. Then there's another one I plan on getting on the lower part of my right arm. That is another ichthus. I love the Jesus fish. Don't ask me why. That says on the right side of my wrist it would say Alpha. Then there's the ichthus on the underside of the arm. Then it would say Omega on the other side of the arm, and then another one. So it's like a wraparound around the entire arm. So, but yeah. And there's another one I plan on getting with my best friend on our calves that says, that's another just basic cross that just says Defend the Faith.
Mm.
So.
Somebody's going to try and crowdfund a John Rambo fuck 'em tattoo, right?
Try to get me to tattoo a bandana around my head. Not happening, guys. Sorry. All right. Chris Jones wants to know, do we think the presidential primaries will consist of candidates trying to one-up each other on how much they hate Trump? Yeah. That is their only selling point, is that they hate Donald Trump.
That was their platform in the midterms. It's going to be their platform in 2020.
Yeah, and it's like, it's basically insulting half the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
So...
It did not work in the Republican primary in 2012 when hating Obama was very popular.
Yeah.
It still was not enough. But apparently that's all the Democrats care for now, is just anti-Trump. I mean, God knows what happens after Trump leaves office. What in the hell are they going to do then?
They hate America?
Well, may as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to entertainment. CT117 wants to know... Oh, wait, actually, I'm sorry. Altus Whisperer wants to know, why is escapism such a hard concept for SJWs to understand?
Because they are either always looking for reasons to be unhappy, or because they cannot help but find reasons to be unhappy. It's like there was that Onion article a while back. It's like, feminists just shuts the hell up for 30 minutes to enjoy a TV show. That's basically the core of it.
Yeah.
Like you stop looking for reasons to be upset. If you are looking for reasons to get pissed off, you're going to be pissed off all the time. And what does that bring you?
Yeah, I do think it's a common character flaw. I wonder if there's more to it. I think that would be an Aiden question. I'd have to ask her. So, if you get to it before I do, who was it that asked that one? Hardboiled, I think. No, Autist Whisperer. Autist Whisperer, I don't know if you're on Twitter or not. If you're not, let me know. And I'll tweet her about that one. And I'll ask her, because I'm genuinely curious about that. Because they're, like I said, it's a common character trait that I see with a lot of SJWs, is the inability to escape. It's weird. I oddly enough see it in Christian friends that I have that are very pious as well.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting... it's an interesting commonality.
Yeah, it's almost like such a fervent dedication to the faith that you can't just let it go for enough time to have fun.
Yeah.
And it's not even like just letting go, it's just not focusing on it, not being like hyper aware of it, if that makes any sense.
That makes me wonder if Jesus ever arm wrestled. I'm serious. Like, what else are you going to do with, like, 12 guys following you around?
Who was it that wrestled the angel?
Jacob,
yeah. Well, we know one person at least wrestled, so...
Yeah. Alright, let's see here. Swordsman wants to know, do we think Venom will make the roster of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3? God, I hope so.
I hope so.
Granted, I don't think I'll ever get to play it because it's not coming out on anything that I own, and I don't really have any plans to buy a Switch, so that was the only thing that bummed me out. Is like you announced that you're bringing back this series that was a fuck ton of fun, and Switch. Damn you! Part of the reason I haven't played Bayonetta 2 either. I don't ever plan on buying a Wii U.
Well, Bayonetta 2 got ported to the Switch, too.
Still, I still have no plans to buy that console. So
fair enough.
Not so much I've never even finished the first Bayonetta, or even played it, really. So I just know that I like her with short hair.
Oh, yes. Pixie cut, best cut.
Alright. Next question. CT117 wants to know, am I the only one to think there's a war brewing in the Zootopia and Disney fandoms in general due to SJWs invading the fandoms, causing unneeded drama? I just want peace. Gee, this sounds familiar. I don't...
Oh my god, fandoms were a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, they very much were. I would agree with that.
Oh my god. Yeah, fandoms were a mistake. Anytime you let some kind of, and I kind of hate to use this word, but it's very appropriate, toxic element into a fandom, like just period. And usually this is your SJWs. It's going to go to shit. It's absolutely going to go to shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I'm not even surprised. And again, fandoms are just no. Just no. Just be a fan. Don't be part of a culture of it, because you're just going to end up being pissed off.
Pretty much. Hardboiled Entertainment says, what are your guys' top 5 movies, or what is the first 5 favorite movies that spring to mind? Trilogies can count as one entry if you would like. Okay.
Ooh.
So my top 5 is fairly easy. For me, it is Gladiator. Always be my favorite film. Ridley Scott's my favorite director. The Dark Knight. The Empire Strikes Back. Predator. And then for the 5th one, I kind of go back and forth on a lot of different films, because there's a lot of really good ones, but I think I would have to say probably The Godfather Part 2.
Good choices. I have a favorite film, and that's American History X.
Good choice.
But as far as like other, top whatever favorites, I can't give that. So I'll give the ones that immediately spring to mind. So yeah, American History X, Streets of Fire, very underrated. If you like anything Jim Steinman has ever put his hands on, you'll enjoy the soundtrack at the very least. Labyrinth because David Bowie. RoboCop because it's absolutely brilliant. And Clerks because Clerks is one of those movies that's infinitely quotable.
37?
In a row? Hey, try not to suck any dick on the way to the parking lot.
Hey, you get back here. Oh, God.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
There is one that neither of us mentioned, though, that I think for both of us would probably be like number 6, and that's John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, God, yes.
My favorite horror movie, for sure.
Pretty much anything John Carpenter. Or the big three from John Carpenter. The Thing, Escape from New York, and Halloween.
All right. Koopa wants to know, watching the video ER made about Death Note, the one that PewDiePie recommends, and he got to a part where the director of Avatar: The Last Airbender has a study on characters. In it, he pointed out that characters need to be dimensional, fascinating, etc., etc. While those traits are not necessarily bad, they go south real quick. Do you think this is what contributed to the downfall of Marvel? Not really. My opinion on the downfall of Marvel is that it allowed way too many politics and not enough good characterization. Mm-hmm. I think that's generally the problem we're seeing with a lot of these writers who went political 2 years ago and now are not doing anything political and they're struggling, i.e. Nick Spencer.
Yeah.
His Spider-Man is really struggling.
It's the irony of writing characters that are diverse for the sake of inclusion and then not knowing what to do because you have tokenized them, basically.
Yeah. It's part of the reason why I was perfect. Even though The Unstoppable Wasp was bad and poorly written, I didn't dislike the character of Nadia Pym because she had heart. She was a very genuinely kind young woman. It was just everything else around her was trash. It was very badly done. But that character had an endearing quality to her. You know? That goofy Nadia! Anyway.
Contrast that with Riri Williams.
I'm genuinely of the opinion that Jim Zub in Champions should just make her autistic. Because it would make so much more sense.
Oh, Jesus.
So, that's what I would do. I would legit make her fucking Rain Woman. Like, seriously, I would make her an autistic savant. You know, she has no concept of social anything, and she'll never get it. But she's, when it comes to mathematics and engineering and things of those nature, she is a genius. You know, be a fun character. We got an autistic Sesame Street puppet. Why can't we have an autistic comic book character? Come on, Jim. What do you got? So, but another example is Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron, the instant he dropped all the politics out of Thor, the book became that much better because he is a very talented guy. Mm-hmm. Same with his Avengers is good too. It's not Jonathan Hickman good, but it's good. So, but Dan Slott is still taking pot shots politically through his work, and it's basically being ignored. Like, no one cares for it at all. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that he's not a bad choice for Iron Man at all, but he did an issue that was taking stabs at Gamergate.
Oh my God. What is dead may never die.
Jesus Christ, man. And people gave Sargon shit for bringing that back up. All right. Let's move over to the second week and our final questions. Koopa's Revenge Home asks, what do you guys think is going to be the next RE DLC for characters in Smash now that Joker is in? Well, here's what I would think, and Hatman, you'll have to tell me if any of these are assist trophies currently. Mm-hmm. My pick would be Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. I know he's not.
Definitely not an assist trophy.
I know
probably will not get in.
I don't think so. I would think that would, if we're going just out of left field, I think that would probably be one that would make sense. Mm-hmm. I would expect another Metal Gear character, actually. I would probably think Raiden.
I believe they said they will all be newcomers from new franchises.
Really?
Yes.
Well, then fuck, I don't know then.
Yeah. My bets are on... I'm betting on Banjo-Kazooie.
That one seems fairly likely, even though Microsoft owns the property.
Well, that's the thing. What's his name? The head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He straight up said, "Yeah, I want to see Banjo-Kazooie in Smash."
Oh well, there we go.
So I think it'd be really, really easy for him.
I would like to see like one of the Battletoads in it, but we've got Rash and Killer Instinct, so I'm cool with that already.
Yeah.
And Rash is awesome in Killer Instinct.
No, I think Banjo-Kazooie will get in. That'll probably be the last character and just blow everybody's minds, and then they'll have like a Spiral Mountain stage. I think Shantae is going to get in. Shantae was a spirit, but was noticeably absent as an assist trophy, even though Shovel Knight got in as an assist trophy.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to get in. Similarly, I think Rayman is going to get in. He was one that was rumored since Smash 4. Well, really, he was rumored in Brawl, but let's see. So that's 3. One more.
I'm thinking maybe Dante from Devil May Cry.
Either
that or the Monster Hunter, because they've got Rathalos in there.
You could have somebody from Monster Hunter in there. That'd probably be a good one. God, especially since Nintendo and Capcom are really playing nice lately.
Yeah.
Although I did hear that something about a Dragon Quest crossover.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
They could get somebody from Dragon Quest in there, which, I mean, not my cup of tea, but
or Ryu from Breath of Fire.
I'm not going to complain. Well, they've already got a Ryu, and again, they've got 2 Roys in there. Technically.
Yeah, I was about to say they got 2 Roys.
Yeah. Well, why not? Just reuse the announcer's voice asset there.
It'd be a really easy final smash too. Just turns into a fucking dragon.
I will be very, very upset if they put any kind of Minecraft representation in there.
Wait, I know who needs to be in Smash. Fucking Strong Bad.
Oh my god.
And for his final Smash, he turned into fucking Trogdor.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And it plays the music.
Oh my god, yes. That would be amazing. Kick the Cheat would be one of his special moves.
The Cheat! another one of them is Bubs comes in with a shotgun and shoots the screen. Wait a minute, Bubs, why you got a shotgun? Where's my copy?
I can't do Bubs. I'm not even going to attempt it.
My mouth was a broken JPEG!
Hey, Bubs, can I have my leg back now?
Oh god.
Oh my god. I would love to see Strong Bad in Smash.
That would be amazing.
That would be great. Just the reveal trailer.
Like
Here's Strong Bad. Why aren't you in Super Smash Brothers?
It'd be amazing. And like you could have like one of his special moves be he shoots you with the nunchuck gun while he puts on the sunglasses from Dangerous.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It'd be great.
Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful.
Okay, Autis Whisperer wants to know thoughts on the Holocaust game where you can play as either Nazis or Jews and you can gas the Jews in the game.
Well, what?
Yeah, that apparently exists. No one cares.
Holocaust or Tycoon is real?
What?
Holocaust or Tycoon is real?
What?
Holocaust or Tycoon?
Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Okay, Waistcoats wants to know, do you guys know of any art/blogging sites I can flee to? Tumblr flagged my Pokemon as female presenting nipples and I don't ever draw, not safe for work.
Oh my god. Well, just get away from Tumblr just in general.
Yeah.
Any art things, like, the only place I can think of is DeviantArt, but DeviantArt sucks.
Yeah, DeviantArt is deviant.
Honestly, your best bet at this point is Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to really put yourself out there, Twitter or Instagram
Yeah,
are
Twitter
kind
and
of like the
Instagram.
best places
You could
for art.
hell, you could even make your own like subreddit for all your shit if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see here. Brian Gilmartin asks, if Captain Marvel's movie fails, how would it affect Avengers Endgame, considering she was set up to be the new face of the MCU? Well, if that movie fails, which I don't think it's going to financially fail, but I do think it won't. I don't think it'll perform nearly as well as the other MCU films, because it doesn't have the humor of a Guardians of the Galaxy. Therefore, meaning it doesn't have the crossover potential of a Guardians of the Galaxy. Because you have to keep in mind what made that series. Like people say, it was the Marvel banner that made that movie good. No, it was the humor. The fact it was hilarious is what people got people into theaters. And it is like Guardians is one of my favorite comedy movies ever. It's great. But anyway, my thought is that if it underperforms compared to the others, they will do either one of two things. They will say, we missed the mark, and we're going to try to do good for the next one, which is kind of what they said with Thor: The Dark World, or they're going to virtue signal. I'm hoping that Kevin Feige does the former, not the latter, if that happens. Like I said, I want the movie to be good. I want it to succeed. I want Brie Larson, who is a very talented young actress, to do well. But it's all going to depend on her attitude. It's all going to depend on the directors to bring us a movie that's good. And the marketing team needs to get their shit together because the current way they're marketing the film is trash.
If it ends up going south, and if Marvel backpedals on Captain Marvel basically being the new leader of the Avengers or the face of the MCU, who do you think would fill in that role?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, what was the question?
Who do you, if it all goes south and Captain Marvel doesn't do well and Marvel ends up backpedaling on her basically being the new face of the MCU, who do you think would take over for that role?
Oh, almost likely Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's the most popular.
Yes, but there's also the chance that Sony will pull the rights there.
Well, it's possible. We'll have to see. I still think that they're probably going to try to sell because Sony Pictures is not in good financial area at all.
True.
Venom helped,
that is true.
and so and Into the Spider-Verse is helping, but they're going to need successful film after successful film after successful film, and after a while, Marvel's going to say we could be making this kind of money, and they're going to buy it back.
Yeah.
So,
I would place my bets on Black Panther.
Panther would be a good one. It seems like Ryan Coogler's staying on that one for a while, which is good because he did a great job with the first one.
Yeah.
The only issue is villains. Panther doesn't have a lot of good ones, admittedly, and they killed the best one, which is Eric Killmonger. And Claw, his two biggest villains, they killed off. So, Panther wouldn't be too bad. My money would be on Tom Holland just because, again, Spider-Man. But like the point you made stands, so I'm not disagreeing. Other than that, Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange would be another one that I would think.
Yeah.
Because he's got the star power. So his film was amazing, so.
Yeah. I would say Panther because he's got the resources, of course. And he drew in like a massive fucking audience. Everybody loves the goddamn movie. Yeah. And rightfully so.
Not to mention his performance in Infinity War was really good.
Yes. Chadwick Boseman is a very, very talented actor.
Yeah, he's excellent. Then again, I don't think there was a weak performance in Infinity War either. So
no, I really don't think so. Everybody was bringing their A game.
Yep. Okay, we got 3 more questions. Raging Heavens wants to know, can Aquaman save the DCEU? If he does, that would be the most weirdest thing ever. Fucking Aquaman.
So far, the buzz about the movie is very positive.
Yeah. I'm going to go see it this week. I'm looking forward to it.
I am seeing Into the Spider-Verse this week.
I can't go see Into the Spider-Verse.
because
I'm
the
a
animation.
conservative. I'm not allowed to see it.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Fuck the director.
There are,
and I hear it's good too, which
yeah,
is unfortunate because had he not told me to go see it, I would have gone and saw it. But I'm not going to.
There are ways that that I will see it.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm hoping that Aquaman's good. Will it save the DCEU? Maybe. If the rumor happens that James Gunn ends up directing Suicide Squad 2, there's a possibility they could turn it around, I think. It's the big thing is that they're going to have to start looking at... I'm still of the opinion they need to recast Batman for that movie, because that one looks like it's going to be in development hell, even though they already did test shots with Deathstroke. He ended up appearing in the Justice League anyway, but I think that Ben Affleck's performance is largely weak. And so, but then we got Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, which looks like it's going to be really good too. So, we'll see what happens. Hardboiled Entertainment says, what ideas would a fourth BioShock tackle, and where would it take place? Well, let's see here. The first one
have to have one?
No, I don't think so. I don't really want another BioShock. I'm more looking forward to the eventual System Shock 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fucking sweet, because it's got the original development team on it. And there's a remake of the original coming out sometime too, though it's on hiatus right now. They're sort of having issues with the funding. Hopefully they get their shit together. But anyway, no, I don't really think I want another one. But let's say there was one. Let's say Micah and the Hatman are writing it. So you and I get to sit down. We've got, let's think of the worldviews. So the first one was easily objectivism.
Mm-hmm.
Second was communism. Third was extreme nationalism, jingoism.
Mm-hmm.
Plus sort of cultism as well. So there's a kind of a mix. But I would see more extreme nationalism mixed with a cult of personality.
Mm-hmm.
Which ended up going into a very interesting direction. What would be a good worldview to deconstruct?
Utilitarianism.
Utilitarianism would be a good one. I would like to do theocracy, like pure theocracy as well. I would like to do that. So, that's what I would do.
Where would it be set?
Antarctica.
I was thinking just generally underground or like Earth's core.
That'd be a good one too. Kind of like a Journey to the Center of the Earth vibe.
Almost, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. Let's see here. Final question from Black Knight Rex. Oh wait, no. Are there more? No, there's not. Okay. Thoughts on Obsidian's Outer Worlds and what we saw of it. I'm hyped.
I didn't see the trailer, so I have no idea.
Hatman.
Yeah, I know.
Tries to say. Oh, Hatman. Like come on, Hatman.
Well, it's made by the same people who made Fallout 76. Y'all know how I feel about Fallout, or not 76, New Vegas.
Well,
y'all know how I feel about Fallout.
Well, that's you. With me, it's the team that made Vegas, but not only Vegas, but also Knights of the Old Republic 2: The Sith Lords. I love that game. It is my favorite. The completed version is my favorite Star Wars game ever. It is phenomenal. One of the best stories. One of the deepest looks at the Force. Chris Avellone is freaking brilliant as a writer. Sadly, he's not working on Outer Worlds. But Fergus Urquhart and the others who were originally part of Black Isle are. So I'm still looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to buy it for sure. All right. Well, that's all we got. Oddly enough, we managed to get through all those questions in under an hour. So I'm surprised. Lord. All right, folks. Well, if you have not already, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this particular video. Don't forget, we will be back on Saturday with another set of podcasts, and we will be on time with the Overflow next week, I promise you. Though I don't know what day we would record it because next week is Christmas.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But
we will do what we can for you.
But until then, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as the Hatman.
We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully. Deus Vult.
Deus Vult.